Okay guys, we are back to video number 2 for week 11, for unit 11. Okay, so we stopped at the rectangle draw command in the previous video, so we're going to continue with the material. So we are going to look next at polygons. If you guys recall from our hand drafting part, polygons were shapes with 3 or more sides. So you're going to need this to create some of geometric construction exercises you're going to have today. So let's create some of this. It's pretty simple if you think about it. So we're just going to go click on the icon right here. And the first thing we have to do, as always, is go and see what the computer it's telling us or asking us to do. So it says polygon, enter number of sides right here in the lower part of our screen under the command line. So first thing is, okay, I'm going to draw a hexagon. Let's just say I pick that one. So 6 sides, enter. Then it's going to ask me for the center of polygons. So that it's going to be relative. That's going to be something that you are going to decide, or you are given some information. So I'm just going to pick a random point right here. Click there. And then the next question from the computer or the program to me is going to be, do you want this shape to be inscribed, encircle, or circumscribe? Remember that inscribe means inside the circle, circumscribe around or outside the circle. So you will know which one you need. You will be given instructions as to which option you need. I'm just going to select inscribe for now. So I select inscribe, and you can tell right here that I am actually able to, if I just wanted something with a random measurement, then I can just go with a random direction. I can just put it there. But I'm actually going to create my flats on the sides and then the peak going up and down. So I could always set my F8, my ortho, to on, so that I can only go in one direction or the other. So in this case, I'm going to create my flats being on the top and bottom part of the shape. And I'm simply going to say my radius is going to be 1 unit. So I type 1 and I hit enter. And so I have my hexagon. Okay. One more time, we can do a different shape. So I'm just going to go here, polygon. The first thing is going to be how many sides. So I'm going to create a triangle. 3 sides, hit enter. Find my center point. So I'm just going to go somewhere right here, and I'm going to make it inscribe. I could be doing a circumscribe if I wanted to, and I'm going to specify my radius for this object of 1 unit as well. And then you can see that everything right here, it's in reference to the circle with a 1 unit radius. Okay, so those are polygons, and again, I can go and I can create anything with any number of sides, pentagon, an octagon, whatever, however many sides I need. Okay, also we have another draw command right here, which will be the polyline. Okay, the polyline right here is going to be for different circumstances, for different applications, very useful. So if I just go and I just selected my option right here, polyline, and I'm just going to go and say, okay, I'm going to draw a polyline right here. I'm going to create a few different line segments right here. Hit enter. Then I'm going to go to my regular line right here. Click on it and try to recreate the same shape. Go down, go here, and then go down. Okay, so if I were to select these 2 objects, this is my polyline right here, this is my regular line right here. So if I click on my polyline, okay, and then I click on my regular line, you can see the difference between these two. The polyline becomes a single entity. It does not matter how many line segments, how many different parts I have. When I select one, when I touch one, it is one single unit all the way around. If I go to my regular line, then that means I have to select each one of those, because those lines are individual parts and they behave as individual entities. See, so I will have to go and select each one individually. You can see right from the basics the benefit of having a polyline versus a regular line, plus many other things that we can do with a polyline that we'll see in a little bit when we work with our modify commands. Okay, reviewing a little more on the parts that we have seen. Remember, we have our object snap, not to be confused with the snap mode. Remember, the snap mode goes along with the grid, and you're able to preset those measurements. But your object snap, it's that allows you to, for example, if I want to create a line, to snap to the endpoint, to the midpoint, to the center of a circle, to the quadrant point, to the tangent point, and many other points that we want to snap to, so that we can be more efficient, so that we can create our exercises more precisely, because we know that if we want to go from an endpoint, we are going to be snapping to the very end point of this line right here. And in order for us to set up those particular object snaps, remember, we can go down here to the icon where the grid and the snap mode are, and then click on the down arrow, go to the snap settings, and simply go to the object snap. Right here, you can select all, and then go and say, well, I don't need extension, I don't need parallel, I don't need node, whatever the case. Or you can clear them all and say, you know what, I just need my endpoint, my midpoint, my center, and my perpendicular, whatever that case happens to be. If you need more than that, you select each one of those options that you need. Once you get done with those, then you say okay, and when you come back here and you said I'm going to draw a line, then you can go from the midpoint or the end point or the center. But remember, sometimes we activate this, but then we have the power to turn them off. So if I go to my F3, my object snap, and if I turn it off, as you can see on my screen right here, even if I go here and I try to snap to the end point, you will say I have selected that under my snap settings. I go to my object snap, and I can see they're all active right here. So why is it not giving me my endpoint or midpoint or center option? That is because our F3 has been turned off, and until we go and turn it on again, F3 on your keyboard, that will allow you to activate again and be able to use your object snaps properly. Okay, polar tracking, your F10, and this little circle right here under your status bar with a tiny little angle symbol, that's polar tracking. If you activate that, remember, that allows us to go and create lines in particular angle increments, whether it's a 45, as you can see right here, it could be a 15. This one is set up to 45-degree increments. But if I just want to go horizontally and vertically, as we said before, F8, my ortho, and it allows me to only go horizontally or vertically, nothing in between. If I need to go to any other increments, then I can go 45. I could set it up to 15, 30, whatever the need is. So I can do that right now. Okay, so that's a review for our ortho, polar tracking, object snaps, plus the polygons and the polylines. Okay, we'll continue in the next video.